What's up? Christy, One Love Fellowship for Followers of Christ. So, first of all, please excuse the timing because stress and other things have been triggering my narcolepsy. So, my sleeping patterns are a little off right now, but I'm working on it. And I got my new glasses today, as you can see. They are not Warby Parker. I did not realize we already had a Warby Parker here, and I am a little strapped, so I had to do, had to do the best deal I could find, which at the time, because of some misinformation, unfortunately, when I did a search, but it's all good. Everything happens for a reason, and the service has been great. I went to America's Best. So I got 2 pairs plus the eye exam for $90 straight out. I did get the yellow tinted lenses. They did not tint them very yellow. She said that they could do another coating, I guess. I don't know. I'm used to my lenses being a lot more yellow. But yeah. So the crazy thing is now I can see far away, but when I look at my phone, it's blurry. So apparently I need bifocals, like a granny. I don't know. No offense to grannies, I'm just not ready to be one. And of course, I've got middle-aged acne too popping up because there's apparently no period in life when we just get to. Anyway, and so here is. They say do not take your glasses off with only one hand, but like, what are you supposed to do if you only have one hand? You know. Yeah. So here's my other pair. They match better with my current. Don't look at my nose. My current. My current. My current headscarf. Yeah. This is my trench era. TOP. Anyway. So yeah, so I got my glasses today. That's exciting. It's I haven't had glasses since prescription glasses since I was 17, and these are a bit stronger because my vision has gotten a bit. I am nearsighted. The exact words of the optometrist who did my exam were just a little nearsightedness. It's like okay, because it was kind of scary when my vision went blurry and didn't clear up because it always clears up. For those of you who don't know, I have sensory processing disorder, which causes my senses to fluctuate. And it used to be really kind of scary and freak me out. But now, like, I realize and I'm aware of how, my brain processes information and how that affects my senses. And so I handle it better now. But yeah, sometimes my hearing will be like supersonic hearing, and then sometimes I have the TV turned up to like 99 and don't realize how loud it is. So yeah. Oh, excuse me. Same with vision. Sometimes I'm eagle-eyed, and other times everything's a blur, and it's like the universe is saying, "Hey, close your eyes and take a nap." So yeah, so stress and other things have triggered narcolepsy, and I have slept. Not been as productive as I wanted to be today, but I did get a few things done. I attempted to return my mother's wine because she still had 3 unopened boxes of the Moscato Sangria. That is a huge part of what destroyed her body. I mean, that was her choice, and that's what she wanted to do. So I'm not, it is what it is, but, you know. So, yeah, I don't necessarily want it in the house, besides the fact that I'm sober and no one else drinks it and no one's going to drink it. And I didn't really want to pour $60 down the drain. So I attempted to return it because we had the receipt. And they said that the store policy is not to accept alcohol as a return, which, if it's unopened and, you know what I mean? Like, what difference does it make? Like, that's messed up. But, the thing is that exact store, which my mom has been a loyal shopper at since it opened its doors out here in Carnes, they have let me exchange it before when I got her the wrong kind. So I I thought, it's worth a shot. But they didn't want to take it back, which is sad because I could have really used that money for gas. But it's cool. I mean, I had money for gas, but the funding is getting a little. It's okay. I know there's more coming, so it's okay. Um, but yeah. So did that. Went and got my glasses. Took Loki to the park. Um, oh, I found. I'm gonna take these off because, like I said, it's difficult to see up close. So, like looking at the screen here, I can't see with the glasses on, but I need them like when I drive because I can't read road signs right now. They are corrective lenses, and I pray that they will correct my vision so that maybe I won't have to have them, but we'll see. But yeah, I was trying to sort through some things and I came across several packs of photos. And I found a ton of photos from when I was pregnant with Naya and Naya as a baby and a toddler. So, yes, that was a bit heart wrenching after being told they don't want to have anything to do with me any longer. I mean, if I really sit and think about it too hard, I'll have to consider the fact that I lost my mother and my child, but at the same time, my child's not gone, like much love and respect to those of you who, have to deal with that. That's that's not a pain anyone wants to have to feel. Um, but they basically said I'm dead to them at this point. So I pray that, it'll be a temporary healing phase, but either way, you know, the frustrating part is knowing that they don't have my best interest at heart, and they don't think the best of me. Like, I understand that there have been issues in the past, you know what I mean? I'm not pretending like things didn't happen that happened, you know what I mean? They have plenty of reasons to have issues with me, to have resentments towards me. However, I thought that we had worked through all of that over the past, the past several years, but especially the past several months. Like, our relationship was really blossoming, and we were really getting to a place where, I started to feel genuinely respected, even sometimes a little admired by them, like it felt like they were really starting to see me as their mom again. And someone came and blew that out of the water in just like 3 days. Yeah. And the thing is if that's all it takes to turn you against me, then did you really love me? Because I've been through this before, not necessarily with my child, that's a whole other level of trauma, but I've been through this before where someone I really, really, really loved, loved and admired and even placed on a pedestal, really. And turned out that they, you know, all it took was a few people telling them a few lies and them switching. And I feel like if that's all it takes for you to lose faith in me, for you to stop believing in me, for you to see me in a terrible light and just like completely switch, then what does that say about you and what you actually felt for me? Because I might get upset if I hear some information and it, might temporarily have an issue. But I don't know. I've just always kind of gotten over things pretty quickly because after after you're traumatized so much, you get to a place where I keep hearing water off a duck's back. I don't want to say that because I don't want to invite more trauma, and I don't think that I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had and how strong they have made me, but it was, yeah. But I saw 1013. Um, I would not want to be someone who would advocate, yes, we should all get traumatized so we can all be resilient. Like, I feel like there's a better way to build resilience, you know? But for now, this is how it has to be. So, anyway, I felt like I had other things to say, but I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Took Loki to the dog park. Met some cool people. Talked with a new friend that I made. Still seeing how that goes. 11/11. I saw 11/11. I know there are people who want to find out what's going on with me so that they can get to work trying to destroy it, which is why I don't share a lot about what's going on with me anymore. But I'm hanging in there despite the circumstances. And yeah, I just wish that those who feel the 1144, who feel the need to attempt to put me in my place, would recognize their own. Like, what are you doing, bro? Seriously, I'm not trying to be rude. I just don't understand. It's exhausting. Like, the thought of holding a grudge that long over something that non-existent is exhausting. And I kind of genuinely feel for people because, like, I don't forget things. Don't get me wrong. I don't forget things. Like, I will never forget the fact that, um, you know, and I'm not saying this to start a fight or cause problems, but my aunt, who's here now, who I'm going to be living with, right now, um, she showed up around the time I had my kid because she's not, like, been a very stable or consistent figure in my life, which is fine. She wasn't a stable or consistent figure in my mom's life. There was a lot of animosity there. She's a huge source of my mom's trauma. My mom's core childhood trauma has to do with her relationship with her sister, which is why I wanted to give them space to, mend that connection before. Yeah. So, when my child was born, she did help a lot, and I remember her taking me to appointments because I had a C-section and couldn't drive. I wasn't anticipating having to have a C-section, and it was an emergency C-section, whatever. Because there are literally people who judge people for that, like, whatever. And then when they wanted me to come back to the seasonal job that I had towards the end of my pregnancy that I hadn't intended to go back to, and I realized, like, they were so willing to accommodate me because they knew that I was a new mom. They knew that I was nursing, so they were like, you can just come in for short shifts, like 3-4 hour shifts per week, and you can work in receiving. So, like, instead of having to be out on the floor with customers, I was working at Old Navy. So instead of having to be out on the floor with customers, you can be in the back, like, sorting through shipments, putting things on hangers, like that sort of thing. And then that way you can go to a dressing room and you can pump anytime you need to. And so, since they were so amazing and so accommodating, shout out to Old Navy, yeah, I was like, okay, I'll take that opportunity because I am going to need money. And yes, I want to be able to stay home full time with my kid. I don't want to have to leave my kid with anyone. It was 1441. But, you know, I think we can make this work. This isn't too bad. Like, being away from them for 12 hours a week isn't, that's not bad, right? That's good. And my aunt was, seemed super eager to want to come over and take care of my kid. at that time and snoop through my things. She says she doesn't snoop, but anyway, so yeah, that was all fun and good until one day all of a sudden she just didn't show back up. No call, no explanation, nothing. I didn't hear from her for like a year and a half, 2 years. And at first I found, no, I take that back. I was trying to think if that was when I found someone else and then that situation fell through as well. But I think that was actually when I went back to work at the preschool that I was working at because they still didn't have space for my kid when I was ready, when they wanted me to come back from maternity leave, but they didn't have space for my kid. I started working there right when I first found out I was pregnant, and they still didn't have space for my kid. Go figure. But yeah, either way, I ended up losing my job because I didn't have childcare. And so, I had to call out and I couldn't make arrangements and, I just had to let the job go. And that really was a setback for me. It was a huge setback for me. And it would have been one thing to have had a reason for it, for her to have called one day and given me an explanation, a reason, why. But she didn't. She never even apologized or explained anything. She just didn't show back up. And then showed back up a couple years later like nothing ever happened. And she always did that. And she always did that to my mom as well. And so, yes, I remember those things and I don't forget them. I don't let them go. And just because when I re-encounter you, I might not make a point to, because I already know, like, if I attempt to confront that situation, it's going to be a bunch of gaslighting. It's going to be a bunch of, whatever. You're going to flip it around on me. I understand. I've been in this family my whole life. I know how they think and how they react and how they behave. And, I've always been the peacekeeper. That was my role. But just because I don't forget doesn't mean I'm holding a grudge. Because that's the thing. Like, the grudge is when you are so consumed with that one thing that you let it shape your whole entire perception of the individual and the relationship and like everything else. And it's just, that's exhausting. That's so exhausting. If I held grudges, I would have never spoken to any of my family again after like age 3. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, but yeah, I don't know. I just, 1755, I just wanted to come say hi. I didn't even mean for this, excuse me, to be this long. I think I'm going to go ahead and read my prayers now and try to get some sleep. Maybe do a little meditation. I don't know. We'll see. Here, let's it's over my, hold on. Did you see my hairy legs? Shh. I don't know. Oh, speaking of body hair, I did shave my underarms the last time I showered, so there's that. Because I hadn't even made any attempts at any type of grooming in that manner since before I lost my last place. So yeah, I guess that's a step, right? I don't have any reason to concern myself with things like body hair, but it was starting to really annoy me. So, anywho, I don't know who this will help or if it'll help anyone at all, but I hope it helps someone tonight. Just remember, 1919, you are loved. You are forgiven. You can be saved. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you've done or what's been done to you, you can repent. You can repair. You can be redeemed. Much love.